Hey there, my name is Tyanne, and I am the CEO and blogger-in-chief at Practically Poised. I'm not even about to give you this whole sob story and explanation as to why I have not posted on my YouTube channel in like 56 years. It has been a very, very long time. I used to post more consistently years ago, but we're not even going to do the whole story. I'm just going to get straight into the video that I want to post right now. So I recently did some knotless box braids on myself, and I'm going to stand up just so you can see them and get an idea of what I did. These are my passion twists, and I just kind of wanted to talk not passion twists, my bad. Clearly that's the style I'm ready to do next. My knotless box braids. So I just wanted to talk about my experience, my thoughts on them. I've watched so many YouTube videos on this style. Before I get into doing a new style on myself, I educate myself like over the top. I look at Pinterest, I look at Instagram, I go to YouTube for sure. I watch videos on videos on videos in terms of learning how to do it, the best methods to doing it, people's opinions, the pros, the cons, what hair do you need, is it hard, is it long? I try and educate myself as much as possible, like a couple weeks in advance before I actually gain the courage to go in and actually do the style myself. So I've been looking into knotless braids for a while. I went on a cruise to Bermuda in June. Was it June? Yeah, it was June to July. I went on a cruise. I wanted to do the knotless for my cruise. It is currently August, and I just completed these a couple days ago. So based on the timeline, you can tell it's taking me a very long time to actually go ahead and do these braids. I've been spending all of that time trying to educate myself on the braids and just make sure I know as much as possible before I go and do it, and make sure I can do it myself. I just graduated school. I'm back home with my parents. I'm figuring out this adulting thing. I didn't want to go and spend money and have someone else do my hair. I've always done my own hair, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out one way or another. So I took my time in figuring it out, and I finally did it. And long story short, I feel like this was super easy. I saw a lot of people talking about the braids and saying that it was really hard and it was the hardest style that they had to show themselves how to do. It took such a long time and blah blah blah, all this other stuff. They're valid to have their own opinions, but for me personally, I thought this was really easy. Like, I've done regular box braids on myself a couple of times before, and I've done them on other people before, and that's not hard either to me. Again, I'm a pretty fast learner, and I'm pretty savvy when it comes to like creative activities, whether it's hair, nails, makeup, stuff like that. I feel like I'm a fast learner, so maybe that's my bias in this situation. But I've done regular box braids before. I felt that they were pretty easy. I knew how to do them, so I was like, ooh, these knotless ones, like, that's a whole nother process. I can't even cornrow my own hair, and knotless box braids are basically feed-in box braids. So I wasn't sure how I was going to go about it, but I watched a bunch of videos and I was like, it seems relatively easy. So I finally got up the courage, sat down, and I was like, I have this hair. I know it requires so many less packs of hair. I only use 2 full packs, and I needed a 3rd pack to do like 4 to 5 braids. So really I used 2 packs of hair for this size. I feel like they're in between medium and small. But I went in and I started, and it was actually really pretty easy, and it didn't take me too long to do. The only reason why it took me a while was about 2 days it took me to braid them. That was because I was procrastinating. I was watching movies, talking with my family, made a couple of runs to the store for random stuff, dropped stuff off at the mail, like a bunch of random stuff. But ultimately, it wasn't a long time that it took me to do these. But I really, really love these braids. I think they're so pretty. I love how flat that they lay. I think that they frame my face pretty well. One thing that I didn't like about regular box braids when I would do them, I always would do it in a middle part, but I always ended up going like, "How? Let's put this in a side part because my head is looking ridiculous." That's what I always would do with like regular braids, but I think that was really because the bump at the front, like, it causes them not to lay how I would want them to lay. But because the knotless box braids lay so much flatter, because you start out with your real hair and then you start to add in hair all the way down, they lay so much flatter. So the middle part actually doesn't look terrible on me. I've seen people do their braids, but they have like so many braids in their head, and I don't know, I don't think it looks bad, but for me personally, I didn't really like how it looked that much. I kind of like when my braids look like hair, like it lays flat like hair. It's not bulky. Like I can just throw it into a style, like you see all the boxes and everything. Like I just enjoy when it looks like this. And even in the back, you can see it's not like super bulky or anything like that, which I greatly appreciate. And I said like 46 times, so I'm so sorry. But back to the braids. Yeah, I didn't want a bunch of braids in my head, but at the same time, I did have to keep in consideration, okay, I don't want a lot of braids, but I also don't want giant boxes, and the braids are way too small for the box. So I had to pay attention to that. There wasn't any specific formula or math or whatever that I did in terms of making sure I'm pulling out the right amount of hair that matches with my hair, and that the box, and that I'm in the business of living a stress-free life. If you follow me at practically.poised, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm all about positive mindset development. So I try to be as stress-free as possible. So I really just went with it. I separated the hair into tiny little sections. I put it on top of a chair. I didn't get one of those wooden, I don't even know what they're called. I think people use it for sewing, that a lot of people use to put all the hairs on top of it. I just used the back of my chair, laid them all out, separated my pieces, and just went with the flow. I love them so far. I love how natural they look. This is definitely a style I will be doing whenever I'm doing box braids. I probably won't be going back to the regular box braids. It's so much more cost efficient than doing regular box braids when I would have to use like 8 packs or sometimes 10 packs, depending on how big the braids are or how many braids you have in your head. Like, it's so much more cost effective. Again, college student, just graduated, I'm back home with my parents. We need to make sure that the coins are being saved as much as possible. But I really, really love this style and how natural it looks. And I also like the fact that it just looks like it's coming out of my head. Like, and for me, don't judge me. I know everyone here on YouTube in the beauty community, they go in and do the edges and all that extraness. Again, I like a stress-free life, and if I go and try and do my edges and they don't come out great, I'm gonna be mad. So I just choose to let them be, since the style is supposed to look really natural anyways. I just let them do what they do, how they do, and I really don't care. But if you're someone who likes to do your edges and do the swoop to swoop and all that great stuff, that's good for you. That's just not something for me, so I don't do it. But I love this hairstyle. And then also for the ends. So let's talk about these ends. For me, again, I did lots and lots of research on this style. So a lot of people who wanted to go for the more bohemian look, they would get like free tress crochet hair and, you know, add it in at the end so that it would be wavy. For those who made videos basically talking about the aftermath and their thoughts on the passion twist, I mean, I clearly want to do passion twist. That's all I keep talking about. Like, soon I will be doing those, maybe the next style, but I keep talking about them. So sorry. The knotless box braids, when they talk about their feelings afterwards, they all had negative things to say about the crochet hair here at the bottom. In my experience, because I've done crochet braids 3 times, where my full head has the crochet, curly, free tress hair, all that greatness, I know that that hair requires maintenance. And if you're not maintaining them, it's gonna get crunchy and frizzy and not be cute. But when someone gets box braids, you're looking for a style that requires 0 maintenance, unless you're doing your edges and stuff, but that's the only maintenance you're looking to do. So people will go in with their box braids and be like, oh, it's gonna be easy style, I don't have to do anything. But then the bottom, the free tress hair starts frizzing up and acting crazy because you're not taking care of it how you're supposed to. I put in box braids because I don't want to have to take care of my hair in any type of way. I don't want to have to maintain, I don't want to have to wake up and do something to it. Like, I want it to just B, I wake up and I'm like, all right, cool, perfect, we out, and I leave. That's the type of style that I personally want. So with this, I was like, I really do like the idea of the curly ends. I think it looks really pretty. Probably shouldn't have worn a black shirt, but I think it looks really pretty. You probably can see it better in the back. But what's different about what I did is that I didn't add free dress hair. I didn't add any crochet hair to the bottom because I knew that required maintenance. Again, ladies, do your research before you do a hairstyle. Don't just add in the curly pieces because, oh, I want to look boho. Are you ready to take care of that boho style and stay cute for more than just the first couple of days? If you're not prepared to take care of it, then that's not a style for you. I knew that was not something I wanted to do, so I was like, what's another way? When I was younger, I used to always go and get my hair braided with my sister, and they would curl our ends like using the hot water, because when you put this into the boiling hot water, it maintains its shape and everything. So instead of just dipping in my ends regular into the water so that they would be straight, I separated my hair into 4 sections, and at the end I just braided it really tight, and then I dipped it into the boiling hot water, dried it off, undid it, and here we go. We got waves. So you have the effect of the free tress, adding in the crochet hair and stuff to this style without having to worry about the maintenance. Like this, I don't have to think about, it's not gonna get crunchy, it's not gonna get frizzy at the end of my style or any of that. It's easy, breezy, beautiful. Knotless box braids. I was about to say fashion twist again. I don't have any cons specifically about the style. Again, it is pretty new, but they're basically box braids. If you've had box braids before, this is not that far off. So I don't have any cons. The only con I knew I would have would be them curly ends, which is why I took an alternative route in terms of doing my curly ends. But again, I absolutely adore this style. Anytime that I'm doing box braids, I will be doing knotless box braids because I save money, it looks natural, and I can wear it down the middle. I love middle parts, and I actually can do a middle part with this style. But if you have any questions and there's anything that I did not touch on that you're curious about, definitely just leave them in the comments section below and just let me know and I'll answer them, because I'm sure there's stuff that I didn't hit on. So go ahead and follow me at practically.poised. It is a platform that I use to help you build a more positive mindset. I put a whole bunch of inspirational stuff, positive stuff, real life stuff that I'm going through and the lessons that I'm learning from it. So if you're interested in having more positivity on your Instagram feed and getting away from all the nonsense, definitely go and follow me at practically.poised. I really enjoyed making this video and I look forward to making more videos on YouTube, whether it's hair related or life related. I don't know, we just have to see what the future holds. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll check you guys out in my next video. Also, I forgot to mention, if you are interested in seeing any really cute hairstyles you can do with your knotless box braids, I made an IGTV video that I'll have linked down below in the description.